So, whenever I'm doom scrolling on Book Talk, Bookstagram, and BookTube, I kind of notice that I'm seeing the same question over and over and over again. And these questions are: how do you annotate your books? Why do you annotate your books? What do you tend to highlight when you do it? So, I thought I would do a quick little video, and I'm going to annotate Gideon the Ninth by Tasman Muir. I'm only going to do like the first chapter, and there's already two things that are highlighted and tabbed in this, but this should kind of give you a brief understanding. So, when it comes to annotating, everybody is a little bit different in the utensils that they use. So, for me, I really like the Sharpie S Gel pen, and I like these highlighters. I don't really know what the brand is, but you can find them basically anywhere: Amazon, all the cheap things. And then I like to get the sticky tabs like this, just because I'm kind of OCD and I don't like the ones that like cut off here and then are white there. I kind of like the full color. Um, so Right, okay. So as I've said, I have already highlighted a couple of things. So I kind of like to highlight things that make me feel emotions, whether that's sadness, happiness, laughter, whatever. So with Gideon the Ninth, I've kind of highlighted a couple of things and tabbed it yellow for things that made me laugh. So on the first page, I've got Gideon Nav packed her sword, her shoes, and her dirty magazines, and she escaped from the house of the Ninth. I kind of thought that was funny because why is a necromancer packing dirty magazines? So then on the next couple of pages, I've highlighted, come on, Crux, we can come to some arrangements. You hate me, I hate you. Just let me go without a fight and you can retire in peace. Take up a hobby, write your memoirs. Say my shuttle exploded, I died, and it was such a shame. Give me a break. Crux, I'm begging you here. I'll trade you a skin mag. Frontline Titties of the Fifth. Okay, I take it back. Frontline Titties isn't a real publication. Again, I just thought that was hilarious. So some other things I kind of like to annotate is character development, especially if it's like a book where you've got pretentious characters and I kind of want to see them progress as the story goes along. If you've got kind of, the enemies to lovers trope, if you've got characters that absolutely hate each other, I kind of like to highlight as they are becoming lovers. Some other things, world building is a good one, especially if you've got a really complex fantasy series or book. You've got that tab, that color that you would be able to go back to and be able to be like, oh yeah, that was there. This is how this is perfect. A lot of people like to annotate their magic systems if there are any in the series. Um, if you're reading a romance, if romance is your genre of choice, a lot of people like to highlight the kind of spicier bits. Some people like to highlight the romantic quotes. Quotes for me is a really big one that I really like to highlight no matter what genre I'm reading. So let's go ahead and go back into this. We'll start on, it's technically page 18, but it was like, what, page 4? So technically page 18, we'll start here. Right, so I found another line that I would like to highlight, and that would be where it says, Crux might have been very nearly dead, but he was built like gristle, with what seemed like 30 knuckles to each fist. He was old, but he was goddamn ghastly. So here is one thing that a lot of people do differently as well. I have a ruler. Some people use this side, the flat side of the sticky tab thing, and then other people kind of just freeball it. I am very OCD, so I like to use a ruler. So I'm not going to highlight it, but I will underline it because this is kind of funny, but it's not funny enough for me to actually waste my highlighter ink on. I tend to only like highlight things if it actually fully gets a good chuckle out of me or if it is something that I'm desperate to go back to. So I'll kind of underline that there. And then sometimes I like to put like a little note. As you can see here, I've put haha her humor. Oh my god, I love Gideon. And then off to a great start, lol, kind of thing. So honestly, your comments could be super fascinating and you could be like an absolute scholar in writing and stuff like that. Or you could be like me and just go, lol. Right, so I wanted to show you another little bit just to kind of give you another idea that I don't always just highlight and tab. and it's not always just funny stuff. So I wanted to underline these couple of lines. There was no disservice done. You didn't get her permission. I'm allowed to apply for the military, Captain. I'm indentured. I'm not a slave. I'm no fiscal use to her here. I underlined this because what does that mean? Who are we talking about? Who is the her in question? And why is this person implying that Gideon needs their permission? And is Gideon trying to apply for the military? What's really going on here, kind of thing? It's obviously something that we can go back to later on once we figure out the full plot line and be like, oh, that makes sense. Right. So I did say that I like to kind of underline and highlight when there's world building and stuff like that. So here I've highlighted or I've underlined a few sisters were behind her on the tier. Having sunk down to their knees, the cloister women painted their faces alabaster gray and drew black patterns on their cheeks and lips like death's head. And I guess I could already go ahead and underline the rest of this. Dressed in breadths of rusty black cloth, they looked like they looked like a peanut gallery of sad old waist-high masks. I'm kind of doing this because is this how everybody dresses in the House of the Ninth? Is this how everybody dresses in the entire world of the entire series? Or is it like strictly to a particular type of person? So I kind of like to have that just to kind of get like the general culture and, like I said, world building. So I didn't want my only example to be a fantasy novel or a sci-fi novel. I kind of wanted to grab Savor It by Tara Dewitt, which I am annotating along with a group of friends over on Instagram. I received this book from one of my friends, and as you can see, this is another thing that is very different between everybody with annotating. So the person who I received this book for has kind of like a chaotic tab style, which I'm absolutely here for. But again, OCD, so mine are the ones that are very close to the edge. But I wanted to share a quote. So, has something ever been so good that you wanted to push it away? Maybe you've seen a film, read a book, or even had a vacation that was so incredible you didn't want it to end. You wanted to hit pause and stave off the inevitable. So, again, annotating is absolutely what you make it. You can highlight, underline, circle, draw, sticky tab, do sticky notes. We've got some sticky notes in here somewhere. I probably shouldn't share them because it's kind of like the groups thing, but yeah, you can add sticky notes. You can literally do whatever you want whenever you annotate. I know that a lot of people are kind of scared to do it. I used to be very scared. I'm still quite new at it as well, but I hope this kind of gives you the push that you need to want to do it if that is something that you are interested in. And I hope this video helps.